55. Y'all have 45 minutes. Begin. I will be around.
What'd you get?
Nice. With a trash bag.
Oh, really? Let's go, baby. Good luck. Good luck.
How many more SIGs will I watch people?
Facts.
I've seen 2 signatures be pulled around me. Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, I've seen a signature vein.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, signature vein, and then signature Felios at GG.
Damn, I think I got a dud pack.
Azir.
Shit. First pack was a dud.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's rough, buddy.
Fellows.
I can't play. I got the spirit blocking card, man.
Still reported to Riot. This was a dud. You got the.
The double Renata.
Yeah, it looks like we're definitely playing Jax.
Trinity 4.
Oh, nice.
Vex. Baby. Oh.
Let me see.
Fiora.
Oh, that was good.
Alt Art Fiora. Green Rune. Alt Art Fiora.
Ezreal, another Ornn. Are we going Jax Ornn again? Oh my gosh, we got an over-numbered Teemo.
Overnumbered Teemo?
Bro, you have to be
Not
kidding
enough
me.
noise, baby.
Oh, that's signed.
Wait, this is a signature?
Sign.
Bro, that's signed.
No way. Is it really?
That's the signature.
How's it going, Rifters? I just finished my Nexus or pre-Rift. I was playing Jax. Yeah, I know he's not sleeved. I have like 4 or 3 copies now. But we got the Jax mini pre-con. So we're playing Jax. And I wanted to go over my deck building decisions. Kind of. They're not live. The reason they were not live is because we pulled the Teemo signature on camera, which obviously I'm going to put in the beginning of the video. That's what we hit. And I'm probably going to post everything up to the deck building section of me like putting everything down. But then after that, I cut the video out and I was like, okay, I need to take care of this card, put it away, soak it in. Yeah, what a nice looking card. Teemo signature. And I was talking to my partner about how if there's any of these over numbers we pull, I would want the Teemo because I think he looks the coolest. I know everyone's on Ari, but I think Teemo looks the best. So pretty insane pull. We are good for like the entirety of Riftbound, I would say. So that was the hit. So let's get into actual deck building and kind of like what I was looking at. So we hit the Jax, and I played it with some blue. So what I'll first go through is the stack that I did not include and kind of what we hit here. We have Ezreal, Battlefield, Rockfall. Got some blue equipment. Some not so great blue cards. Well, I did play blue, so we're going to go into it. But these are the rest of the blue cards that I felt meh about or didn't include. Orange, so one of Jax's colors. I think Dauntless is in his seeded kit. I played this Saturday, and he never could come out at a good time because you play it to an occupied enemy battlefield, but then sometimes if you don't have reaction-based spells or actions to buff it up, it can be really hard to take over units that are at like 6 to 8 might, right? Because then he's just coming in for 4, and then they might have an answer to that. And he deramps you, you know, baby Dead Bloom. I'm sure if I drew him at better times, he'd be better, but why not keep the Teemo here, actually? The presence of gear and just stacking early on like a low-cost unit was just so prominent. The key, you know, unit here in this case would be Lucian. For a lot of the pre-Rift events, Lucian was running around my goat. So kind of explaining why I did not include this. There are 3 copies. I didn't include one. This was irrelevant, a severe card. Weapon Master 2-drop, kind of okay. I don't know. I have been just not a big fan of him in general. 6-drop for 6. This is in the pre-kit, I believe, or pre-con. If it holds, just return a unit or gear from my trash to my hand. I think, in hindsight, I should have played this. 6 might for 6 is just a good body. Lonely Poro. I might be called insane for not including this, but I'm going to go into why. As well as Apprentice Smith. I'm not a big fan of this. When I move, reveal the top part of your main deck. If it's a gear, draw it. Otherwise, recycle it. I'm just not a big fan of this because recycling a card is just rough when every card in a 25-card deck should just bring value and like be playable, and you should be happy to see almost every card. So I didn't include her, and now she's a vanilla 2 for 2, which is kind of fine, but once again, I'll go into the 2-drop stuff. Garden Passage. We get into the yellow. Unsung Hero. If I was Mighty, draw 2. Sure, if I had BF Swords, which is a +3 equipment, with Jax would be insane. I don't think we hit any of that, so we kind of looked past the yellow for the most part. Duelist, Assault +2. Death Knell. Bonds of Strength for equipment. I guess we could have played like a recruit spammy version, but I didn't get enough like support regarding me wanting to go into this. If you have multiple units, this could be good. Trusty Ramhound. I think this is good in the sealed format. When you play me, kill an enemy unit with 3 or less, just snipe something in the battle at a battlefield that's kind of just holding there. Take down 3 might, or snipe at a base, because maybe next turn they're gonna ready that unit in base and then come and swing into you, which you don't want to happen, especially with the gear relevance and the limited format. So Sand Shifter, I'm really high on in the limited format, but we didn't play yellow, so we went past that. And now we have purple. Doran's Ring, fine. Discard 1, draw 1. 1 might equipment is a little clunky, besides one that we'll talk about. Corrupt Enforcer, when I move to a battlefield, discard 1. When I win combat, draw 1. Aggro. A vanilla 6 for 6 Weapon Master is pretty good, actually. So that was something to think about. Ancient Warmonger, Accelerate is just something really valuable to have. So this was, these cards were kind of in my head. I wouldn't want to run Corrupt Enforcer. Cole can be okay. Temptation, I don't think this card is all that great in general. Someone can let me know if you disagree. This card is broken, so I was definitely thinking about this if I ran, a part of my 2-drop package. Factory Recall, I think this card is very good in this format. So for purple, that was probably going to be my second option if I didn't go blue. We have Doran Shield, which, funny enough, we did not play this in our Jax deck. One mana or 1 rune tank +1. Pretty good. Maybe I should have, but we'll get into that later. Somehow it was in that part of the decks, or deck creation. For red, we have Bushwhack. I'll just put them down now somewhere. Battering Ram, so if you're just spamming, playing your hand out, it costs 1 less each. Pretty good for aggro. Gem Jammer, this card I think is pretty good in the sealed format. Come down, give something ganking. Like if you're running a hold package and they hold, you re-ready, and then give it ganking, go over that turn. A 3-drop Weapon Master. This is a fine card as well. Little small removal if you want to pay that extra, so it's not just a 2 for 2. You can pay the cost to deal 2 to a unit at the battlefield. A accelerated red card, 7 for 2 power. Can be okay. Weapon Master comes down, equip something, swing in. Good in the format. Void Hatchling is irrelevant because we're not playing Rek'Side. Serrated Dirk to be that to be aggressive when needed. +2 assault when swinging in. Another assailant. Yeah, and then these are my rares that I pulled. I pulled a Rumble. Irrelevant. We're not really running any mechs. No, we have jacks, and we actually did not include the jacks in the kit, or in my deck. And I'll kind of go over that later. Hextech Anomaly, this wasn't really needed, even though I was playing blue. So, Rek'Sai as well. So let's actually go into like what I finalized on. So what made me go blue was Ornn. He gets +1 for each friendly gear. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, let me just go through all my blues and see what I can splash in. I played him Saturday, and I played him on Sunday over the weekend, and he had gotten immense value for me on Sunday. The list was pretty similar. He just gets +1 for just gear sitting in your base, and if you equip it, of course, he just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. He's just good to bring out on 6 because base removal is hard to deal with. So he can come out on 6 runes, and then you can just equip a bunch with Jax, because what Jax says is pay 1 rune, exhaust Jax, attach a detach equipment, so you don't have to pay that power cost. Additionally, he can bounce gear around if you don't go with the top ability, and attach equipment you control to a unit you control. So yeah, Ornn made me start to go blue, but the MVP and the GOAT in this format, I don't think it's even close with like how good this card is in the format. And sealed is Lucian. So he was actually my paired champion. So we'll go into the 2-drop deck building process that I thought about. But because of Lucian, I actually did not want to go first. I wanted to go second. I wanted to bring Lucian out on the curve, because if you go second, you get 3 runes. I'm guaranteed to play Lucian. Which deck building wise, we'll look at everything else. Orange Forge, gear costs 1 less if you control units here. This was a blank battlefield, so it was best of 1. So if they revealed this battlefield when they pick my battlefields, and this one shows up, it's just blank, but it's just a placeholder to show, hey, this is a blank one. I let them know before. Sunken Temple was my other one, so if this was chosen, I'm kind of okay. Because I just get bigger, and I outvalue my opponent usually with just might and gear. And just put, like, presence, and, you need to draw. If my opponent draws, that's fine, but a lot of people might not play them. Like, it might be harder for them to get mighty, whereas with Jax, it's pretty easy, especially with the decks that I have. The colors I were running was, I think, 5 blue, 3 orange, and the rest green, but I won't go over that too much. This card is insane and sealed. Just deflect 4 for 4. I think I ran 1 Frost Coat Cub, just to come down. If I have a unit that is ready this turn, it'll help with the swing in, because I can give it -2. But also, it's just a 3 for 3, so that's fine. This also made me go blue, was the Renata Epic. So you can draw with this, because it's exhaust 1 rune, recycle a blue, draw 1. Additionally, I made it another win con if my opponent was going to not swing into her, then, they risk me getting a point. And I had no problem in this deck with power cost. So, paying that 4 blue was definitely something I could have done. Thwonk in the sealed format is very good. Strike down removal, equip something. It has 5 might, usually Lucian. Use strike down to snipe something at base, snipe something at the battlefield, and go into that battlefield if they crowd that battlefield with many units. Use strike down to take down a 5 might unit, 4 might unit. Wages of Pain. I think this card is really good in the format. It can be hidden. Wages of Pain is just good removal. Good to get the gold gear token so you can pay the future power cost. If you need to equip after using the Jax ability, then pay that power cost with this, and you don't really have to go down in runes. Frigid Touch, this is a good sealed card. This actually won me a game, which is just, I gave -4. So I gave -2 to someone. He had 14 might at the battlefield, but my Lucian and another card was able to take it over because of this card. Another strike down. Poro Snacks. This card is was just insane. I don't mind paying that power, and this can be a draw 2 in 1 turn if I really need it, because later in the game when power is just not an issue with us because we're not paying power much. So this won me the game several times because I just drew into my answers that I needed. Now we have this card, just a 7 body for 7. I'm not running any dragons, but the game plan was that Lucian puts so much pressure on the board and runs around our battlefields to take them out, to take out like 4 to 5 might units, usually around 4 might units, and I'm making my opponent have to answer with spells, reactions, stuff like that. Where then I win the mid game because they will probably be recycling a lot of runes to get rid of the Lucian or a lot of resources, while I can just develop bodies at base and just swing in next turn. Never got to play him, but just there in case. Another Thronk. You know, Renata. If they walk into Renata, I stun them with Thronk, and then I can score with Renata. This card comes in clutch. It's a gear-heavy format and sealed. When you play me, you may kill a gear. Plenty of... I think I played it twice, but I killed, like, game-winning gear that my opponent had. They had a gear that was, like, Assault +2. There's the blue gear that's Defender gets +2. So stuff like that. So this card came in handy. Doran's Blade is straightforward. +2 might gear. Sea Monkey is a 2-drop that I have, but he's flexible in regards to being a 2-drop or being a 3-drop, because if you decide to pay 3, he comes in with the buff. 3 for 3 or 2 for 2. Feral Strength, this is just a good sealed format card. Give a unit +2 this turn, you can repeat it. Yone, I use Yone. He's good in the format and sealed because your opponent kind of has to respect it and like either overcrowd a battlefield and then risk not being able to swing in next turn if I can wipe out the battlefield, or if they do sit at the base, they're just going to get sniped. And he has Weapon Master. Warmogs. This is the one, I think, equipment that I like would always play because it's just +1 permanently and then +1 buff also permanently. Just insane value. Never got to play it, but it was a no-brainer. Sterax, this card is insane in the format. It's costly, but like I said, our mid to late game, we're just so ahead that Sterax can come in and just sneak away wins, / holding points, / just win a fight with that +3 threshold. +2 is like great, but plus like that extra 1 can really get over certain thresholds. Brutalizer, this is a given. Jax can make this bounce around really easily, giving that +2 bonus to have a unit just get +3 for a turn. Combat Chef, 5 for 5, Weapon Master, come down, pick up a Doran's Blade. Okay, now my opponent has to deal with a 7 might unit next turn. Another Doran's Blade. Another Navori Scout. I am running Hex Drinker, which is a gear that is +1 might, but gives deflect, and I would have Navori Scouts with 2 of the Hex Drinker, or 1 of the Hex Drinkers, which would give it deflect. 2 deflect. So if they want to use like a kill spell against it, strike down, something like that, they're going to recycle like at least 2, usually 3, just to take out this body that will come down for like a 4 for 6 usually, because I'll equip with Jax, like a D-Blade or Hex Drinker, stuff like that. There's the Hex Drinker. So yeah, that was my deck. I ended up going 3-0. My opponents were all super awesome to play against, helping out people with rollings, things like that. We pulled the Teemo, finally got the rare Lucian that I've been looking for to play Lucian. But yeah, other than the Teemo, no crazy pulls, but I am not complaining. We're pretty much set for this, for like Riftbound now and this set, so we're probably not going to be opening any more product. Who knows? But we're going to be attending events as Lucian, and I'm hoping to go to one of these tournaments, these regional tournaments, and go for the best of Lucian card, because why not? And after this Teemo pull, you know, we're going to probably shout out for the best deck that Lucian can like play, which is including 3 Kaisas, which are quite the price. But yeah, shout out to everyone who follows the channel, who watches me play, the guys who are commenting, like, you know, thanks for the video, thanks for helping me learn. That stuff means a lot. Shout out to my buddy who, after I pulled the Teemo, he was saying that I deserve it because I've been helping people get into the game and like helping with the rollings and like pushing the game to be, and like, you know, inviting people to like these locals stuff like that. So that was super nice, means a lot. I was a little late on the Riftbound pre-release stuff just because I was helping my fiance learn the game or learn the format and like deck building. Shout out to her. She's gone like 2-2 at some pre-releases. She's done super well. She's pulled straight heat as well. So we got all Art Draven, Audacious, and then we got a purple Azrael as well as 2 Epic Lucians. So I'm super happy with that. Thanks, everyone. And we'll talk to you guys later.